and today we are continuing our playthrough of the Curse of Strahd. With us today, Inquisitor Shadowtat playing McPherson. We have Junior Warbucks playing Asawin, Dark Mage Arcanus playing Kriv Norixius, and Gizmo Storm rejoining the group as Rogar Lagerberger. There's no way in hell I'm ever going to pronounce that last name. And the story so far is that the party, after having traveled Barovia for a little bit, they had left the city of Barovia with Irina and Ismark in tow. And they were leaving with the intention of escorting Irina to the city of Kresk, where they believe she may be safe from the advances of the Devil Strahd. On the way, they stopped at the Vistana camp because they wanted to sample a bit of their hospitality, and after sharing stories of their exploits so far and listening to tales of Ravenloft and some of its history, they met with Madame Eva, who was a very strange woman who offered to read the party's fortune. And after giving a somewhat ominous Taroka card reading, the party was left feeling confused. And no, it looks like I goofed against now. The party was left feeling confused, and that when they woke up the next morning after camping in the Vistana camp and knowing and finding themselves completely alone, like all the Vistana were gone, the tent that they were sleeping in was gone. They were just kind of laying on the ground, and they were left confused as to where they might have went, as it seems the Vistana had just disappeared without a trace. There wasn't even any remnants back of there being a campfire the night before. The ground wasn't burnt. There was no, and so that's where we're picking up today. Kriv, Oswin, McPherson waking up confused and disoriented at the Sarapul encampment, where formerly the Vistana were camped, and it seems that Fester has wandered off again, and this time he seems to have taken Arius with him. It's on you, fellas.
So Kriv's going to stand up, looking around the camp, and just pretty much count out the party members, be like, well, looks like Fester and Arius ran off in the woods to find more food. I'm sure they'll catch up to us. We might as well start moving on.
McPherson will wake up and, when you experience really bad things, then when you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God it was a dream. And he looks around and sees the frog man and goes, oh, shoot. Still in it.
Is everybody ready to move on?
Yes.
Well then, let's go back to the world map so we can see where you're currently located. Where are we currently located? Oh, there we are. Alright, so we are currently here at the Sarapools, okay? And the only direction that you guys know is that Kresk is to the northwest, right? And Irina and Ismark continue to lead the group in that direction. So, let's begin travel.
Do we have a map?
No, you do not. That's why I believe you I think you can see the entirety of the map here. But you don't have a map, but you do have people that are native to Ravenloft. So they can direct you towards anything you'd like to go.
Okay, so we don't have a map, but we have a GPS.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so 1, 2. I'm just gonna kind of fast track it here. Alright. You travel for about an hour before you come to a narrow bridge that crosses over the river and continues on into the other side. And as you are traveling, where is it? Let me move this over here where I can see it. Alright. At the intersection here, you see an old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. It says Barovia Village to the east, the Sayre Pools directly to the west, and Ravenloft and Valaki to the southwest. And I believe if you look in the corner, you'll see the compass. Nope. I was going to say that it seems that the directions are reversed, but apparently not so. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But it doesn't matter. As you continue to look across from the gallows, you can see that there is the bridge that I had mentioned earlier. And holy hell. At the base of the canyon, you can see the great waterfall that spills into the pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist near where you had camped for the night. There's a great stone bridge spanning the canyon nearly 1,000 feet to the bottom. You gonna cross the bridge? You're just gonna stand here and look at it.
Yes, we're crossing the bridge.
Okay. Why don't you, Asuin, go ahead and make me a perception check as you cross over the bridge.
That one.
Alrighty.
Starting the day off right.
Yes, he is. So as you begin to cross over the bridge, you notice that there are these large stone gargoyles that are sitting at the opposite end. And as you begin to cross the bridge, you get this very strange sensation. Where... is it this one? Nope. Okay, whatever. Beginning to cross over the bridge, you see that the gargoyles, it seems like they begin to move, almost like their head is turning to trace your path as you cross over the stone bridge.
I don't like this.
What am I missing? Why don't you guys go ahead and roll initiative?
I don't see the character token to do so.
I guess that would help, wouldn't it? If I moved you from this map to that one. Okay. And, what the hell's going on with my roll 20? Okay, cool. Whatever. I can't click on anything.
I can't either.
Same here.
This is not just me. I guess try reloading the page. That just means I closed my notes. Nope. Figured it out. Okay, there. Now we can roll initiative. Jeepus. One, two, three. That's it. All right. And here is what's going to happen, okay? So, Aswin begins to move down the bridge. He didn't notice a thing. And the other two of you are going to... the other two of you begin to walk down the bridge as well. But you see what happens, so you are not caught by surprise. But Aswin, you are too close, and when the gargoyles animate and move up to attack you, they are not happy, and you are going to be surprised. So let's more accurately place everybody. You're following behind. I know this is totes a stone bridge, and here we go. Gargoyles coming up, and they're gonna smack you. They're gonna smack you good. I don't like your stupid yellow face.
I'm orange.
It's subjective. Bam, 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 bam. Alright. So, 1, 2 hits for...
One hit.
Oh. The other 19 is an issue. Yeah, so take 8. And then McPherson will get a chance to act.
Alright, well I will just shoot one of them because I have no idea what they are. All I know is that they're hurting my friend. And I don't think I hit.
No, sir. You did not.
So then I will shout, "What are these things?"
No paper flies. Alright, Dark Mage?
So, hearing McPherson scream out, "What are these guys?" I'm just going to scream out, "They're just vile creatures. They must die." And run up next to Aswin and swing at the one above me with my longsword.
Okay, that will hit. And
Now,
what were you gonna say?
I said that was going to be it for me.
Okay. Finished. Wait, why is my that over there? Hide that behind my face. Alright. Suen?
Pull the great sword and attack the one on my left.
Okay, great sword attack the one on the left. And that is a hit for a whopping 20 damage. Oof. That brute is no joke. Are you still exhausted?
1 level.
Okay, that's what I was checking. Oh, wait a minute. You don't get to take an action. You were surprised this round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't do nothing. Alright. The gargoyles will take another action, and they're just going to continue beating the snot out of Suen. So, another hit for 7. And then after that, McPherson.
Is this a really wide bridge?
Yeah, we'll say that the bridge correlates to the size of the road on the map. Because I'm lazy and I don't care.
Okay. Well, I'll just panic and shoot again.
Okay, 10 is another miss.
Yep.
Okay. After that, you hear a rustling from the trees that are off to the side of the bridge behind you. And when you turn and look, you can see a man emerging from the woods. He looks kind of disoriented and confused. And as he approaches, he says... Nothing.
Where am I? Sorry, I had a cough stuck in my throat. Where am I?
Right. Rogar. So, just emerging from the woods, it is actually your turn in combat. What would you like to do? What is that name? I know. That's why I said I am not going to even attempt to pronounce it. Because it's Rogar Lingzakasendalor. Dakasendakalak. Poppinlock. I'm pretty sure I said it 100% accurate.
Alright. I'm gonna move a little bit closer so I can see what's going on. Seeing the gargoyle, I'm gonna target the one on the right. Oops, I'm supposed to click that button, but put Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay. And then 6 is a miss.
Missed terribly.
Mm-hmm. Dark Mage.
I'm going to continue to swing with the longsword at the one above me.
That is a hit. Ooh. Alright, Oswin.
I'm gonna attack at the one that's left of me.
Alright, you're chipping away at it.
How does it?
gargoyles are going to take their turn again. And this time they're going to split their attacks between you and Kriv. So Kriv, both miss. Asuin, both miss. And then McPherson.
Shooting it again.
Alrighty. 14 is a miss. The arrow just kind of bounces off the stony hide of the creature and falls helplessly to the ground.
I'll accept that.
Rogar?
Looking at my bow in disgust, I'm gonna switch weapons and move. Let's start with the one with Hunter's Mark. Both hands.
So 13 and then 19. Do you have the 2-weapon fighting?
Yes, I do. That's the feat I picked.
Okay.
Or the
Fighting style. Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. So your first attack will miss. The second one will hit. And this is on the one on the left, correct? No, the one with your mark. I'm smart. So that is a hit.
So I click the Hunter's Mark thing again.
Uh-huh. Yep. We have to,
Just as it doesn't draw my spells.
Yee. Global damage modifier. Hunter's Mark. And what is Hunter's Mark? Is it a D4 or D6? D6. There you go.
D6.
So, as long as you... Type. So, as long as you leave that checked, it'll apply your Hunter's Mark to your damage roll. Like this. Bow! Why does it say spell instead of... You stupid. There we go. Anywho, let's go ahead and 19 for 8 damage. There we go. Okay. And then Kriv.
More slashing.
4, 5. Okay. And Asuin again.
Swing at the one to the left of me again. And second one as bonus action.
So 25 for... Man. Derp. My math. Alright, gargoyles again. Now there are 3 of you, so we are going to attack Kriv, Asuin, and Rogar. All miss. Not very accurate gargoyles.
I shoot again.
Hey, and eventually this one will stick. Is this the one directly ahead of you?
Yeah.
Alright, you go ahead and roll your damage. Four. Alright, Rogar.
Continue to beat on the one I was hitting before. Both hands.
16 and 10. The 16 will hit. The other will miss. Dark.
Swing with the long sword. And likely a miss.
Okay, give me 1 second. Something I should have done a long time ago. And put that there. Okay, 11 is a miss. And is that all?
Yep.
Asuin?
Slash at the same one again.
Alright. As you land such a heavy hit, you can see that the gargoyle loses a large chunk of stone from its shoulder. And it's got a pained expression on its face. Gargoyle is going to focus all of its attacks on you now. And miss them both. Gargoyle on the right, focusing on Rogar. And they miss again. What has happened to my rolls? Alright. McPherson.
Shooting again. I'm not doing too good on the rolls either.
No, and you're almost out of crossbow bolt.
I know.
Alright, finished.
I want to use. It's probably pointless, but I was going to try and use my eye for detail and use a bonus action to perceive possibly any other hiding in the bushes type fellows.
Can you link me your eye for detail one more? Well, just once.
Yep.
I'm just not familiar. I know you get to like do a perception check, spot a hidden creature or object, or make an investigation check to uncover, decipher clues. All right, so you're specifically looking to see if there's any more of them.
Just any rumblings in the bushes.
Okay. No.
So that might come out and jump at me.
Nope. You can determine that the bushes are relatively safe for now. Okay, Rogar.
Well, let's continue with the one I was hitting before.
Both hit. So after that, are you finished?
Yes, I am.
Whenever okay, Dark.
Swinging out the same one.
Ooh wee. Okay, so you hit the creature, and you put all of your might into the swing that you can muster, and you strike with debilitating force. Go ahead and roll another set of damage dice beyond the first. So another 2d8. So 10, 18, 19 total. Okay. then Asuin.
Slash.
Okay, and the first of the gargoyles kind of breaks apart and falls in pieces around your feet.
That is it.
Okay, the Garg, the last one, going to attack Rogar again. Missed twice. Fuck my life. And then, McPherson?
One more time.
$14 is a miss. The arrow just bounces off the thing and breaks.
I'm gonna smack my little hand crossbow a couple of times.
Rogar?
Oh, let's swing again.
9, 10, 11. And 15. Okay. What the hell is that?
I'm gonna move to over there.
Dark?
Alright, I am going to move to here and then slash
Miss.
and miss.
Asuin. You guys are almost there. It's only taken 6 rounds to kill 2 creatures.
I'm gonna raise up my sword and slash down on the last one.
Okay. Finished?
Yes.
And the last gargoyle gonna continue trying to hit Rogar. And finally lands a hit for 7. McPherson, now's your time to shine.
I'm just gonna run up and just draw my rapier out of my cane and slash at him. And I don't think it's gonna work either.
No, your cane rapier just kind of scrapes against the stone and does absolutely nothing. It's the thought that counts. All right, Rogar. And the gargoyle dies. Okay.
Oh no. I'm gonna move the mark to the other Dragonborn and back away from this group.
Okay. Would you like to say anything?
No, just move the mark and back off.
Alright. Would anybody else like to say anything?
Where are we relative to the bridge?
Technically, standing on the bridge. Just, I don't have a stone bridge battle map, so this is where we are.
Alright, so it is stone and it is wide.
Uh-huh.
It's a really far drop, right?
1,000 feet to the bottom, it said.
Do I notice the that he moved the hunter's mark to me? Like, do I feel anything specifically?
That is an excellent question. I guess, do a perception check for me. Alright. So after the creature, after the second gargoyle dies, right? You see the Dragonborn, he kind of points at you and he mutters a word. You don't hear what it is, but immediately after, you get this weird kind of like buzzing sensation, and you are able to recognize that he's cast some kind of spell, although you're not sure what the effects are.
Okay, with this, I pretty much call out to this traveler. I'm like, you help us, then you choose to put your spells on me as well?
I don't think he's gonna answer you.
I'll
So-
make sure to lean over to the frog and be like, "Is that a friend of his?"
Just lean back. I don't really know.
With that, I'll start moving forward, shouting again. It's like, why cast your spells on us after you've just helped us?
Keep both swords out.
Where are the other two that we were escorting?
Anytime there's trouble, they fall back and hide. So with the gargoyles gone, Ismark and Irina kind of come out and stand here.
All right. Do they say anything?
Nope. They don't know who any of these people are, so they're just kind of standing there, like, what's going on?
Can I, since I'm a frog, and can I just use standing leap and hop right here?
Absolutely, you could do that.
Leap over, and I'm gonna try to. I'm just gonna have my sword out, kind of down to the ground. I'm gonna try asking, "What are you doing here?"
He doesn't reply. He just continues to keep his swords up and pointed at Kriv. Oswin, how do you think you would respond to that?
Well, with this, I'm at this point going to,
Trying to get these guys to
with
talk.
the
It's like
non-response, I'm feeling that he's more of a threat than anything else. So I'm going to curse him as well.
I'm just gonna kind of ask him. It's like, do you got something against him?
All right.
Kriv, is there some like evil, like deity or something that you know, or something that's like different types of people? Like, I don't know. There's something in your culture where he would be angry at you?
Alternatively, I'd like to ask you, Gizmo. You see Kriv again make a gesture, and he lets out a rasping word, and you recognize it to be a curse he's spitting in your direction, and you can feel as the spell affects you as well. How would Rogar respond to that?
Take slow, cautious steps back, keeping the swords out. One eye on that frog that jumped at me, and one at the other dragonborn.
All right, everybody, roll initiative. Unless you don't want to. All right. So, Kriv, he's so far he doesn't seem to be responding. You said that you take it he's being He's being hostile. So, what would you like to do?
So with that, I'll make my initial run up here and just go straight for a slash with my longsword.
That's a hit.
And
You do extra damage equal to your proficiency.
yep. And on top of that, I'll do the bonus action for Thunderous Smite.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Thunderous Smite.
Yes.
Just, all right.
Well-
So apply the effects.
Oh no.
All right, and he is unconscious. You just walk up and pop, and he goes down. All right. Well, glad we did that. So now with the white dragonborn unconscious, what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna kind
Can
of
we like
push.
get away from the very top of the map? Like you guys are pissing me
Yes,
off.
thank you.
I'm gonna kind of like push Kriv back a little bit.
And for why?
Because I feel like he's gonna try to, I don't know.
Hunter's mark would have fallen off a crib when I got knocked out.
Kriv, do you know this guy?
I've never seen him before,
I love you, Daddy
But-
Warbucks.
with his spells angled towards me. I wanted to ensure that no foe would take me out.
What do I perceive on this white dragonborn in relation to what I already know, which is very little, compared to Kriv?
You can tell
Are we
they're the
looking
same
at-
species.
Are we looking at like two different breeds?
You can tell that
or-
they're the same species, but they seem vastly different. Whereas Kriv has blue scales and horned plumes. You see that this guy is much leaner, and his horns are much smoother, as is his skin. He's quite majestic. Look at him.
Could I look on his person for maybe like a journal or diary or something?
You could. You find various traveling effects, but nothing, no journal or anything like that.
How about any gold coin?
You're not taking his gold.
Okay.
Does he have a pack of sorts on him?
Yeah.
Does he have rope?
Yeah. You gotta tie the man up with
I'll
his
let-
own rope.
Yes.
Nope, wrong one. Okay, so you take the time and restrain him, and then what?
At which point, then I'm going to use Lay on Hands and give him a total of 5 health points back.
All right. So, Rogar, you come to, and you find that you have been bound, and you now sit at these strangers' feet. Okay.
That's for the restraint.
What?
Don't like being restrained. Wasn't sure if that was the right roll or not, though, for
No,
what I
I didn't
wanted
ask
to do.
you for a roll. You're not. No. You're bound. So, what would you like to do?
Listen, did you get dropped into the woods, like, and you just kind of wandered into a town? I'm asking Kriv.
So you're asking me?
Yes. Or not Kriv, I'm sorry, I meant Rogar.
Rogar.
Look at the frog, look at the bindings, look back at the frog.
Give me an answer and I'll think about it. Just
So,
like,
seeing that he's a Dragonborn, I'm going to essentially repeat Oswin's question, but in Draconic.
Look at the blue dragon, look at the bindings on my hands, look back at him.
I'm gonna.
While I'm, of course, struggling against the bindings, trying to get him off.
I'll pull out my hand axe and cut his bindings.
Oh, I forgot to copy paste it. I'll get that after this game.
You cut his bindings, or there's a 1,000-foot drop below this bridge.
No, we're not.
You don't know that?
Okay, he does now. Listen, I'm cutting his binding.
Okay, so cutting him free. What is your reaction, Rogar?
And I'm gonna tackle him just in case he tries to run.
Well, I was going to try to back away from the group.
so he tries to back away, and then Oswin promptly tackles you to the ground.
Now tell me, did you get dropped to the woods and you stumbled here?
You are not undead, leave me to my hunt.
So he speaks. You're hunting undead.
Need to hunt. Leave me alone. Get off me.
I'm good. Again, you didn't answer my question. Because we may share the same purpose.
Hunting undead, are you?
In a sense. See, there's this, well, I guess he wouldn't be technically undead. There's this, like, vampire that we need to go kill, or we're gonna try to murder, I guess.
Out of character. Aren't vampires classified as a type of undead?
Yep.
Okay.
Your character may know that, but it's very possible that Oswin does not.
Oswald's
And where is this vampire you speak of?
Well, we're gonna be taking a little journey to eventually get to him. We gotta make a few stops some other places, but you come along and not try and kill us, you know? Could always use an extra hand.
I just want to hunt undead.
I'm gonna get off of him. Well, come with us and you'll get to hunt one of the greatest undead out there. And I just kind of go with it.
That's a good idea, Snow. Nothing will bring together enemies. Nothing will bring together people through the common ground of smashing people. So let's just throw shit at them until they mesh. Let us say that while we're standing here having this really long, drawn-out conversation, you guys see bats swarming overhead. And as you look up, those of you that have already been traveling with the party know that the bats sometimes can be a portent of bad things to come. And before you can issue a warning, you see flying through the air some kind of big nasty creature for me to throw at you. I know what I want to throw at you. It looks like a woman. And maybe not. No, my. Alright. It looks like a woman, but it has an ethereal form, and it is scowling as it descends upon the party. Go ahead and roll initiative. Crevice. Oh, never mind. Alright, so the Spectre comes flying through the air. And it descends on the party. And it immediately reaches its hand out and starts to try and draw on the life essence of Kriv. Uh-oh. Kriv?
That hits.
Yeah, take 12 necrotic damage and make a con save. Alright, you pass. So you only take 12 damage. Alright, Rogar. As the party is attacked, you do not, Ostwin had stood up of you, so you are free to act as you will. What would you like to do?
Possible to hit the breath weapon on the Spectre without hitting any of the people that I'm dealing with?
Is it straight line or cone?
It's a cone.
Okay, yeah, you can. Because there's two ways. I don't know if I've showed you guys this before, but there's two ways to represent a 15-foot cone, right? And it largely has to do with whether it is a diagonal like that, or if it is a straight line, as in going forward or to side. So if you were to throw your breath weapon forward, it would go in this direction, and it would be like that, right? So it would literally hit the Spectre at the very base of your breath weapon, and then nobody else.
That works.
Okay, so hitting the Spectre with the breath weapon, it fails, and takes 10. What is this? You're white, so it's cold?
Correct.
Okay. Ostwin.
Ostwin pulls out his great sword and swings it over his head at the Spectre. And I'll action surge and attack again.
Okay. McPherson?
I don't trust it, but I'm going to use my sword. Yep.
You tried. Dark?
I'll draw my longsword and swing at it.
Alright. You hit the creature and it dissipates. And after the specter is gone, Ismark leans forward. Look, I don't know what your quarrel is, fellas, but we really must keep on the move. Strahd's spies are everywhere, and he will surely send more after us if we don't get a move on. He kind of looks over in the direction of Kriv and Rogar. It's like, I don't know what your quarrel is, friend, but you surely can't expect to survive the woods for long on your own. Whether you're coming or not, we have to go.
I agree. And then I start walking away.
Alright, Ismark and Irina run up to be with Kriv. Asuin, you ready to leave? McPherson?
Yep.
And then, what about you, Rogar? Are you going to fall in line, or are you going to stay behind?
At a distance, I will fall behind.
Alright. Alright, so we continue traveling north. Oh dear. And travel is somewhat uneventful at first. However, after traveling for a little more than 2 hours, and keep in mind that you've traveled for 2 hours, right? So if you're hurt, you can roll hit dice during this time, since it is not a strenuous activity. And damn it, where's the? I closed my notes again. Is that it? No. There we go. Okay. As you round the bend, you come to a intersection. And here, in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. It's an ever-present being. It's everywhere around you. And it just kind of lingers and gives you a sense of dread as you travel. Ahead of you, the dirt road splits into two different areas, and one of which heads off into the east. There you see patches of cobblestone suggesting the eastern branch was once an important route. And parked in front of you at the crossroads is a large black carriage with two massive horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air, and they just seem to exude malevolence. The side of the carriage swings open silently.
I pull out my great sword. Can I go investigate to see what's inside?
Sure. As you approach the carriage and look inside, you see that it is empty. There's no one there, but there is a small note folded in half and propped up on the floor of the carriage.
I'll go pick it up and read it.
Picking it up, you see that the note is written in an ink that is a very deep shade of red. Almost looks like it was written in blood. And it says in a very fine script, it says, "Hail, travelers of Ravenloft. You are always welcome here in my fine and very esteemed lands. And I cordially invite you to join me at Castle Ravenloft to be dinner. If at any time you would like to grace me at my home, you may take this carriage to the front gates. I shall look forward to meeting you." And it's signed at the bottom, Strahd.
Well,
Did that note just say we're invited to be dinner?
That's
Yeah,
what you
yeah, it
think
did.
he said, but when you look at it a second time, you think your mind must be playing tricks on you. Because it clearly says to have dinner.
what?
Oswin begins to question himself. Did I read the wrong word? Was it a slip of the tongue?
Stupid bed. I'm gonna rip the note in half.
Okay. As you stand there ripping up this small piece of parchment, you see both of the horses are turning and just kind of glaring at you. It's very creepy because, horses usually kind of snort or whinny or make some kind of noise. They shift their weight in place and pick up their feet, right? But they stand still as death and just stare.
Can I investigate these horses to see what's wrong with them?
Investigate how? What do you mean? You mean like look at them?
Like, look at them to see if they're normal horses or some weird, like, illusion or something.
Let's do a perception check.
Click the wrong thing.
I was thinking the same thing because you said they're standing still as death.
Okay. When you look at them, they appear to be normal horses. They look to be made of flesh and blood. They seem to be alive, but it's it is Ravenloft.
I don't like this place. I'm gonna keep going.
You're just gonna walk away?
Is it only the one carriage?
Yes, just one carriage. It's big enough that all of you can climb in, and then there'll probably be some extra room there as well. But it's got those two horses.
Nothing else inside the carriage.
Nope. The inside is very nice. It's all coated in red velvet, which is very dashing compared to the black wood that composes the structure.
This sounds like a murder house. I say we keep going. I'm looking for one thing. This is not it.
Anybody else like to do anything?
I'm good. I'm just going to follow the frog.
The horses don't appear to be undead, so to me they're not worth the time.
Did Rogar make a check? No,
No,
just
'cause
you're just trusting what Oswin says. Okay. Yep. They don't look undead to you either. So, moving on.
I want to eat a dream pastry.
I'm sorry, what now?
I'm gonna eat a dream pastry because I wanted to try one.
Oh, yes, the button. All right. So you eat the dream pastry, and immediately you notice one thing is very clear. They taste wonderful. I mean, you have never in your life experienced something so just delicious before. And you can't help yourself after that very first bite from eating the whole thing ravenously because it is so delicious. And it's not enough to just, hungrily eat it. Like you find yourself, oh man, these things are great. Guys, you really should try one as you boast about how wonderful the dream pastries are.
Like Crib, didn't you get one? You should really try it. I gotta start eating these. I keep eating bugs. Those aren't good. These are amazing. I enjoyed it so much. I'm gonna eat another one.
Okay. All right. How many do you have?
Well, I had 5. Now I have 3.
Okay, so you eat 2 of the dream pastries. Okay. Anyone else? No. Only Crib has them. Okay, so give me a moment. Hi there, son.
Hello, Faja.
Hello. Alright. 2 things are quickly becoming apparent to you, okay? As you are about halfway through your second dream pastry, as you're looking around at you realize, man, I do love my friends. Like, my friends are the friendliest friends, and I love them. And you just have the best feeling. Like, you are happy, and you can't believe that even in this dreary, dreadful place that is Ravenloft, you think the world is a wonderful place. And you also know that as long as you have dream pastries, that you will continue to feel just as good. Okay? Okay? So that's the first thing that you realize. That eating this pastry just makes you feel wonderful. The second thing that you realize is that you can't wait to eat the next one. It's almost like a constant nagging thought that I need to get more dream pastries. Because and somewhere in your mind you believe I will never feel good again without a dream pastry.
So I love my friends. I love dream pastries.
Yes, everything is wonderful, and dream pastries are the best.
Sounds like drugs.
One more thing. As you are having this feeling of elation and euphoria, you see some very strange things. The colors seem to be more vivid and bright, whereas everything in Ravenloft is very dark and mostly it's just been shades of gray and muted colors. Now it's like you eat the dream pastry and it's like the colors are bright, the sun is out, the birds are chirping. And it's just like you're in your own little dreamland. Okay?
My little dreamland.
That's right. All right. Goodbye. All right.
Oh, this is so amazing. This thing's so bright and colorful. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna walk over to McPherson. I'm gonna hug him. I'm gonna eat another one. I'm gonna start chowing down on my drink.
Alright, so when he comes over to McPherson and attempts to hug him, I want, if you allow it, I want to use sleight of hand to basically use my manacles to bind his wrists.
Sure. All right. Oh, okay. So, who's got the mic?
Did you bind my
Yes,
wrists?
you move in to give him a hug, and he goes, "Ah, no!" and just clap, clap, and he just puts the manacles on your wrist.
Is this a bracelet of our friendship? Oh my gosh, I've always wanted one of these. It's like the best treasure if I've ever gotten. Like when I was a king, and it was wonderful, and all the treasures.
Yes, they are hug bracelets.
You're the best. I kind of want to go over to Crib, but I just kind of pull you with me.
No, I'm gonna get myself out from your reach.
So like, I went in and you handcuffed me.
Basically, when I see a frog with rainbow eyes coming at me with a smile, with his arms directly forward, I am not going to. Yeah.
How hard it would be to bust out of these.
DC 20, dexterity or strength.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll a disadvantage.
Yeah, you did, because you're completely oblivious.
So you try to struggle against the bonds, but you fail to break free. Would anybody else like to do something? Hassoin is acting very strange.
No more cupcakes for you.
No, you can't. I'm gonna eat another one.
So what? Do you have one left now? Because you're just chowing down on
another one.
Yep. Okay. Doesn't seem like anybody's gonna try to.
I will take my cane and hook the manacles, and then kind of drag you away towards the other bigger gentleman.
Why? I just want to. So it's just a nice day, and it's just so nice. Like, and you guys are awesome.
I'll go over to Kriv since I'm more familiar with Kriv, and I'll be like, this person thing seems to be under the influence, and I would like you to, keep him under your watch.
But what do you mean, thing? You know who I am, Masuin, one of your buddies. like, what do you mean, man? Crib, how you doing?
So, noticing this, and he just keeps getting weirder and weirder from the moment I met him. I'm going to take out one of the dream pastries I had and try and take the time to do detect magic on this pastry.
Oh, you have one too? They're delicious. Like, just imagine if you just had like everything, like just pure sunshine and happy, just put into like something so small. It's amazing.
Right. As you cast detect magic, you see a very strong aura of enchantment coming from the little dessert.
Will you head back to the town? I want to get some more of these.
I sternly point at Kriv and I said, do not eat it. I don't have any more manacles.
Okay, please, guys, can we go back to the town?
Unfortunately, we do not have the time to go back to the town.
But if
I want to stow my dream pastry away.
But like, if I don't eat more, then I'll return to the world of dread, and I'll slowly realize that nothing in the world solely matters. But I just need like to be happy, and just like, you guys don't even know. I want to go back to the town.
So Aswin starts slowly walking off in the direction of Barovia.
I'm gonna have to knock this one out too. How far away is he?
He's within arm's length. I mean, he literally just started to walk away.
I don't think he can move too fast in his current condition.
No. He starts to walk off down the road, but then you see he gets distracted by a bush and spends several minutes looking into the bush, remarking about how pretty it is.
It reminds me of my childhood. I remember I used to like jump over these things all the time. Oh, so much fun. Then I became king. Guys,
All right, I'm going to catch up to him real quick and then guide him back towards the party and just
No.
tell him, like, we have to keep going this way to get to Barovia. Just follow the path.
I'm going to work against him and start walking, trying to pull him the other way. Like, but there's like the town. We can get more of them. Come on.
As you're having this discussion where the two of you are pushing against each other, right? You're trying to get him to come back with you. Aswin, I need a contested strength check.
I need a strength check.
Oh, you did. Yes, Aswin easily breaks out of your out of your grasp. And Kriv, why don't you do a intelligence check? See if you can recall an important piece of information.
No, it's got to be the other way. Instead of Kriv reaching for Aswin, it's just Aswin that picks Kriv up. He's got him over his shoulder. And he's just gonna start walking happy face back to town, going, "We're gonna get some pies."
We're gonna get some pies. Actually, yes. Know what? Better idea. Aswin, you make the intelligence check.
Nope.
Screw it. I'm gonna give it to you anyway. You recall that the nice lady that sold you the pies, do you remember what she said to you when you bought them?
No.
She told you that she makes the pies with her sisters. And she told you where she lives. And that you were welcome to come and visit her. Do you remember that?
No.
God, what is wrong with you, kid? Well, you do remember that she said that she and her sisters live in in an abandoned windmill between Barovia and the city of Valaki, which you would imagine is in your current direction.
Change of plans. Can I pull out another pastry?
Yeah, he didn't take it away from you.
Hey, Kriv, try one of these. I want to like jump up and try to force feed Kriv.
I think that would be extremely difficult. Like, you could certainly jump up and try to shove it in his mouth, but instead you just kind of like smear it on his face. Oh, look at that dream pastry going to waste.
Could I try to like pin Kriv?
Can you kind of what?
Could I try to like grapple him?
I mean, no, because you are restrained. Like, your hands are bound.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna eat the rest of it then.
It's on his face.
I thought it would taste weird.
He's got a frog tongue.
No, that's. And then I realized I don't have.
Kriv, he's doing an awful lot. What is your reaction to all this?
I am patiently waiting for him to regain his composure before I start swatting at him with my sword.
And you guys just see Aswin just go from a smile, just kind of like a jury wipe across the face, and just, I don't have any more patience. I'm gonna be happy again. I'm just gonna
So what is the party doing? Take cribs.
I am observing.
Rogar.
Backing away slowly.
Yeah, these guys are nuts.
I want to take out that drain pastry that I examined earlier, and I'm gonna be like, "Here, Oswin," and try and lead him on to have him follow me.
How far away is Crib?
Arm's length?
Arm's length. Can I
His
try to
arm, not
snatch
yours.
it? Dang it.
Can you try to snatch it from him?
Yes.
I guess Dex check contested by his? What is this game even more?
Who can get the pastry first?
It'd be at a disadvantage for Oswin because
He is, yeah.
green.
Yep.
Ah.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Well, you try to snatch it out of his hand, but he just kind of pulls it back and keeps leading you on. Okay, let's make some progress on this map.
I'm gonna hop one. Boop, boop. Gave me the pastry for that.
Damn it, I close it again? Or is it open over here? No, I close it. I'm a smart man. Okay. And boop, boop. Travel another 2 hours. You managed to travel managed to travel another 3 hours down the road. Okay? And the travel is largely uneventful, except for the entire time Asuin continues to ramble about how beautiful the world is and how much he needs more dream pastries.
Can I use another hit dice?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll as many hit dice as you want during a short. Hey, that's a good roll.
I just don't understand. The world's beautiful. So many nice things to enjoy, like beautiful rushing water and trees swaying in the wind. And I just love you guys. You guys are awesome.
No! Damn it! Clicked off of the game, which means my notes and everything closes.
Just enjoy the world.
You shut up, Austin.
We've traveled a few hours. Is there a difference in behavior?
No, there seems to be no sign of it wearing off anytime soon.
Can I have your pastry?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, so we are traveling along the road, and as you are traveling, you hear something rustling in the bushes. Unfortunately, Asuin's constant prattling makes it impossible to try and sneak up on the things. And
I stole handcuff.
Heh. Let's move them off to the side. Alright, so there you are. And then as soon as you hear them, they come bursting out of the woods, and we're gonna just go ahead and move into combat because words. Go ahead and roll initiative. Okay. Ahead of you, you see a man is covered in mud from the top of his head down to about his nose, and then from his mouth you see there's like a torrent of dried blood that runs down his neck and covers most of his chest. Surrounding him are 6 very small creatures, roughly about 1.5 feet high, and they seem to be made of sticks and leaves, and they are humanoid in shape, but they are very, very tiny. Roll for thems. Alright, and these creatures are going to go first. What are they going to do? I don't know. They are going to run forward. That's all they can do. 30. 42. So that would be 40. Nope. Too far. Alright, so they just kind of rush forward to get into better position. And actually, because again, we're at the very bottom of the map, and it's annoying! I'll move this guy up here. There we go. Alright, after that, Asuin, still currently bound by the manacles. What are you going to do?
Could I try to break out the manacles?
Yes, it'll cost you your action for the round, but you certainly can.
Yeah.
Oh, and you do. So Asuin gives a mighty grunt.
Bro.
Oh, okay, I guess. And
I'm happy.
it's his dream pastry addled mind. He just goes, "Rah," and they snap and shatter. All right, but he breaks free, and the manacles are ruined.
And seeing these twig things, Oswin's eyes just light up, and he runs over and he like just kind of hugs one. He's like, oh my gosh, it's like trees. I used to climb on them. And, like,
All right. The man that is accompanying them is going to run forward. And you see him raise his hand. Why does he have 0 spells? He should not have 0 spells. He raises up his hand. And let's see where this is going to go. It needs to be a 20-foot square. So it'll be like that. Yeah, right there. Alright, so he's going to cast Entangle. And everybody inside that green square that I placed, I need you to make a strength save. Or be restrained. Oh my. What is this? All right, so he's sitting there and he throws out his hand, right? And weeds and vines sprout up from the ground to start trying to grasp at you. But all 3 of you just start grabbing them as they come up out of the ground and just start ripping them out from the roots. That sucks. All right, Kriv.
All right, I'm going to step to here, and then pull out my longsword and slash at the tree, or not.
At the little group. Got it. Oh. Yeah. You miss the attack and gaze upon the chaos of battle. and your confidence begins to falter. You have disadvantage on your next attack roll against any target.
Okay.
Rogar.
Alright, move up to there. Hunter's Mark.
The
What?
area is difficult terrain. Do you have the natural explorer feature yet?
Alright, move up to there.
10, 20, 35 is your move?
Sorry, it should be 15, so I should move to there.
Yes.
Let's Hunter's Mark the one in front of the frog.
Second attack will hit, and even though it's you don't get as good of a swing as you would like, you see it's more than enough to finish off this small creature. Its body, composed of twigs and sticks, is very brittle, and you cut it in half with little problem. All right, McPherson.
McPherson will run over here and attack this one.
Is it a hit? Oh, he's super dead.
And he'll yell over to Asuin and say, Froggy, the big one, he's got the dream cakes.
Can you do me a favor? Can you make a deception check? And then also, I need you to roll insight.
Well, the joke's on you. I got disadvantage. Kidding me?
Kidding you what?
So many nat ones.
Oh. All right, you totally believe him. You think that the man in the back has more dream cakes. All right, the twigs are going to take their turn now. Move, and then we're going to attack some people. Claw at McPherson. Take 2. At Kriv. Take nothing. At Rogar. What is your AC? It miss. And at Asuin. Miss. Asuin.
Would it cost me movement to step here?
No, it's only moving within that radius. So you're gonna take opportunity attacks. Bop bop. Take 5.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have the dream pastries? Could I have some?
He looks at you and he just starts spouting off in this language that you don't comprehend. But as he says it, he's like he's talking through gritted teeth, and he's making very aggressive gestures.
It's not very nice. Here, let me give you something.
Oh my. Okay, no reactions. Alright, he is gonna take it. And then, are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, it's his turn. And he turns and looks at you. And you see him, he's gripping a staff. And after a moment, the staff begins to glow with this with this almost phosphorescent green energy. And then he is going to try to hit you with the staff. Hey! Take 11, Aswin. And then Kriv.
Alright, from standing here, I am actually going to use my breath weapon.
Okay.
Going. Get the correct item here. This way.
Okay. Yours is a line, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So DC 11. And they both pass.
Well, at the very least, half damage. And then that's going to be it.
Rogar?
Move my mark to the druid.
Alrighty.
And then we'll move up and attack him. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Uh, 13. First attack hits and kills the druid. He totally manages to maintain concentration through death.
Hey, he was gonna give me a pastry.
Alrighty.
I'll start moving back. I got 5 feet yet.
Wait a minute. How do you Hunter's Mark and attack twice? It both uses your bonus action. It's not relevant here because your first attack killed him, but keep that in mind. Moving the Hunter's Mark is a bonus action.
Good to know.
Yep. Okay, McPherson. That is a hit. And another dead twig blight.
Okay.
Alright, we have 3 remaining. I'm gonna go there and there. Attacking Asuin and Kriv twice. Asuin take 4. Kriv, what's your AC? Nope. And
18.
nope. Alright. Asuin.
I'm going to slash at it. It's hurting my floods in that area.
Dead twig blight.
Yeah,
Yay.
that is all.
He's dead. Let's get him out of the tracker. Kriv?
Alright, I'm going to use the longsword on that one here.
And dead twig blight.
That's it.
Rogar?
Move the mark to the one still standing.
Okay. And dead. That's all of them. Alright, would anybody like to do anything?
I'm gonna search the druid's corpse.
Okay. You search through his body and you do find some things, what appears to be like human bones. You find little pieces of, bloody chunks of meat in a small pouch. You can assume he uses them for some profane ritual. And another pouch that has several pieces of coin. None of this interests you, however, because you are strictly looking for dream pastries, and he has none.
What? McPherson, you lied to me. I thought we were friends. There's no dream pastry.
What class is Oswin? Or is that...
He's a fighter.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is where we learn that Oswin multi-classes to Barbarian and enrages when there's no dream pastries where he's told there is.
That's not very happy.
I thought there was dream pastries. Toad rage.
Toad rage. All right. Nothing else?
I'm going to use Lay on Hands on Oswin to heal him for 5 points.
Okay.
Thank you, friend, and I hug Chris.
He doesn't say resist, so Kriv and Oswin. It's almost like a family. Papa Kriv, what are you doing next?
Leading forward and just telling Oswin there's probably more pastries this way.
Oop, that is not the right map. It's this one.
Spoilers.
Really?
What you doing, cat? Alright, so you guys continue walking, and it's starting to get quite dark at this time. Because it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you've traveled like 11 hours today. And after a couple times making camp, all the combat, it's getting quite late into the day. And it is at this point that you come upon... That's right, I accidentally closed this thing. I have to open up my notes for the 4th time this stream. I'm doing so well. Areas broken. Cat, I swear to God.
What you doing?
She's gonna booger on me. Alright. As you approach, you see an old, rundown windmill just off the side of the road, maybe 30 feet ahead. And the windmill, the actual fans of the windmill appear to have been broken and run down, but there is a light on inside the tower. It's very obvious that someone is here.
I immediately rush to the door. My eyes light up, super happy.
Well, remember, it's like 30 feet away, so he runs off towards the structures. Anyone else going to follow or try to stop him or anything?
Draw
I'm going to
weapons.
follow.
Okay.
I back away.
Is there a door?
There is. Give me
Walk up to it.
Give me a second. Gotta find it. There it is. Alright, let me put you here so we can see the base of our windmill. Look at it! And approaching the door, you see that the door is just currently hanging open. The door itself has broken and lays in splinters around you. And approaching the structure, you could see there is a single raven sitting on the door. On the frame of the door. Not the door. The door's not there. Anywho. Let me move that bird.
Excuse me, Mr. Pastry Lady?
There is no answer from inside the tower.
I really liked your pastries. You're good. Could I have some more? I'm gonna step inside.
Now, the door is supposed to be open. All right. The ground floor has been converted into a makeshift kitchen, except the room is filthy. Baskets and old dishware are piled everywhere, and adding to the clutter is a peddler's cart, familiar as you've seen it on the oh, I didn't move you guys over? What the heck? I mean, it was a test. I was seeing how long it would take you guys to say something. Kappa.
Well, at first I thought it was just theater of the mind. So
Negative.
See, you were doing such a good job describing it, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Adding to the clutter of everything in the room is a peddler's cart that you immediately recognize as the one that you saw in Barovia, a chicken coop, a heavy wooden trunk, a wooden cabinet with flowers painted on the doors, and in addition to the clucking of the chickens, you hear toads croaking. The sweet smell of pastries blends horridly with the stench that burns your nostrils. The awful odor comes out of an open, upright barrel in the center of the room. And there is a sense of warmth issuing from a brick oven against one wall, and a crumbling staircase ascends higher into the tower. Shrieks and cackles from somewhere high above can be heard, and they make your skin crawl. And as you step into the room, you notice one other thing that you could not observe from the door. There are bones, human bones, most of which are very small, and they are littering the flagstone floors.
You said there were bones?
Bones. All over the floor. Teeny tiny bones.
Well, Oswin doesn't pay attention to the bones. He's too happy. He smells good. He hears toads, frogs, family. Well, no, head upstairs.
Well, not quite, okay? Because moving into the room, you draw the attention of something. Remember how we said that barrel was the source of the awful smell?
Yes.
Okay. As you walk into the chamber, you see something begin to bubble out of the top of that barrel. And it's a green substance, and it's very viscous and thick. And it kind of pours out of the top of the barrel and puddles around the floor by your feet. After a while, it begins to lift itself up and shape itself into a humanoid-like shape. And before you, you see a horrifying creature.
Hello.
Everybody roll initiative, please.
Oh. Oh, wow.
One, two, three. Miss people? Is you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. McPherson, you will get the first turn in combat. What the heck was that?
Oh, my daughter is just whining on my shoulder.
Oh! For a second I thought it was Lane.
Oh.
So, how long... Basically, something popped up when he went in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was he in there for a little bit?
He walked in, he kind of looked around the room, and then he went to go for the stairs, and then this thing boiled over the crate and is now standing there. And it smells
is creepy.
awful. Yeah.
Was there a noise made? Because at this point, I don't see anything going on.
Yes. You heard some squelching noises, followed by a sound of shock and revulsion from Asuin.
Alright, then I'm going in. Can I? That's a really odd wall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's a small circle tower.
Can I reach it from there?
Yeah, he's adjacent.
Okay. Actually, I'm not going to attack because if I saw this thing, I would try to understand my own self-conscious as to what the hell I'm looking at and talking about. I don't even know what to roll, so I'm just going to say I'm going to just try to examine it, and I'm mostly just in shock.
All right. Go ahead and roll your feature, right? You said you want to examine it.
Oh, alright. Should I do like perception, investigation?
Let's call it investigation. And then what does your class feature say? It says you can gain insight into a creature's something. Just link it for me.
Oh, no, I don't have that yet. I could do a bonus action.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, I wasn't really going to do a main action anyway, but I'll link it.
And creature, uncover or decipher clues. Alright, well, let's call it investigation check. Because you're looking at this thing, you can't quite wrap your head around it. So you're trying to get a clue as to what it may be. And so when we look at this creature, right? You know that this is something out of the worst horror novel you could imagine. It's face is almost it's got like a pig snout and big ears like a bat, but its skin is green almost from head to toe. It's got these giant claws that almost seem reptilian in nature, and the only thing that you can wrap your head around is it must be a demon. This is something from the deepest bowel of hell.
Oh yes, of course.
All right.
And it smells terrible.
And it smells awful. Asuin.
Kind of looking at it in shock. Not happy, not happy, not happy. And a slash.
15 will hit.
That is my turn.
I think I did that wrong. Nope. Okay. Rogar?
Well, hearing the combat, take my drawn weapons and rush in and hope there's undead needs killing.
You basically just run in or before you run in, you just hear like, "What the hell is that smell?"
Oh my. Okay. You slash at the creature, and when you hit it, you can see that its form almost seems to like burst. And as it does, it leaves a giant stinking cloud in its wake, and it is awful to be inside. I mean, it chokes the lungs. It almost makes it so that you cannot breathe, and it takes everything that you have to fight against the urge to vomit. Okay. So everybody inside the cloud, I need a Constitution save, please. Move it to the back. Oh, everybody rolled. Okay, so everybody is able to resist the effects of the cloud. You maintain your composure, and what are you gonna do? Aswin had the right idea.
I guess I'll run out and throw up a little bit.
Okay, so exiting the tower, you stand here. You have a moment to discuss what you've seen, while you wait for the gas to dissipate.
Mr. Crow, why weren't the nice, happy woman in there makes nice cookies?
Ask him how many licks it takes to get to the center of a... Never mind.
That's an owl.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close it again.
So seeing my party running out of the building all of a sudden, I'm pretty much asking, like, what happened?
Is there like a haze or a fog of green smoke that bellows out behind us?
Yep. Now you can see it through the door. And you can even smell it standing 10 feet away, Kriv.
I'm basically at my head between my knees, just gagging, and I point over at Asuin and I'll say, he let one out.
Yeah, I'm so not eating those dream pastries now.
No, it was there was a not happy thing in there.
Yeah, I can smell it being a not happy thing.
Luckily, it doesn't last long. And after maybe 10 minutes, it seems to dissipate enough to allow you to re-enter the tower.
Is there any more cookies on the cart?
Not on the cart, no. The cart is empty.
Anywhere else in this room?
You don't know. You haven't investigated anything in the room. You walked in and then you tried to go up the steps.
I'm gonna investigate in the room.
Okie dokie. Anyone else who would also like to look around? Because there's a lot of stuff in this room. It's very cluttered.
I want to investigate the oven.
Okay. Inside the oven, you see on a rack there are about a dozen dream pastries.
Do I see the...
I immediately close that oven. I say, nothing in here. Let's just keep looking.
So what was in there?
Just dead rats and roaches.
Asuin, you begin to look around the room looking for dream pastries. And as you do, you find a large cabinet. And when you open it up, you see it contains wooden bowls full of herbs and baking ingredients, including the usual things, flour, sugar, and several gourds that are labeled bones. Hanging on the inside of the cabinet doors are a dozen locks of what you can assume to be human hair. And amid various concoctions are 3 small labeled containers that hold some unknown liquid. The first container is labeled youth and seems to have a golden syrup. The second one is labeled laughter and is a red liquid about the consistency and opacity of tea, right? And the third elixir is a milky fluid, except that is tinted green, and it is labeled mother's milk.
What? I'm gonna go walk up the stairs.
Anybody else like to do anything on the ground floor, or are we just gonna go up?
I'm going upstairs.
After seeing how he reacted to the pastries, I'm going to destroy the ones in the oven when he's not looking.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hello, dearie.
I
You guys at the bottom of the stairs, you can hear this conversation.
do you have some more pastries for me? I would really like some more.
Oh, I do. I'm cooking some in the oven right now.
But
Here,
just
come with me, child. Sit.
yeah.
Morgantha will take care of you right away.
But McPherson told me that there
No,
were rats in the oven.
don't listen to him. Sit.
Did I hear her say Magartha?
Yes, all of you can hear the conversation.
Is that the same name as the lady from before?
You were present, yes. Yes, it is the same woman as before.
I want to come downstairs. I want to see them.
Okay, let us walk together, child.
I'll look over at Rogar.
I'm a grown man.
Okay, so Morgantha and Aswin come walking down the stairs, Aswin behind. She looks around to all of you. Oh, I was not aware that I would have so many visitors. I'm glad you took up old Morgantha on her offer of hospitality.
She said that there were pastries.
When you look at her, you notice that her visage, it very much is the same woman. Her features are still enough to where you can recognize it's the woman from Barovia that sold you the pastries. She looks different though. She looks haggard and she's heavy set now, whereas before she was somewhat thin. And her face is wrinkled like a boiled apple. And as she walks down, she kind of absent-mindedly picks up a broom and starts sweeping some of the bones like under a nearby cabinet, right? Almost like she's trying to hide them, but she's being very obvious about it. She's wearing an apron that is covered with like flour, and other like baking dough and blood stains, and you can see there is a long, sharp bodkin impaling her bundled up mound of hair, right?
Oh, so like, I got some money, and how many dream pastries can I have?
She looks at you and she's like, "Oh, it's fine. You are such a wonderful little boy."
I'm a man.
Oh, I'm sorry, dearie. I'll tell you what. If you go and fetch me the mother's milk from the cabinet, and share a cup with an old woman, I'll be happy to give you as many pastries as you can eat.
I'll do that, but I am a whole 10 years old.
Oh, I know. And she kind of pinches your cheeks. You're a big boy.
I said I'm 10. I'm gonna go get your mother's milk.
Okay. So you get the container with the milk that looks greenish in color, and you bring it to her, and she kind of pours out a glass for the two of you. She's like, "Would anyone else like a glass?" Oh, I would hate to be a terrible host.
Crib just snarls and just says no.
As you guys are talking, you hear a whooshing sound, right? And a thump as something lands on the ground outside, right? It's very obvious because you can tell something heavy hits the ground, and then you see two women standing at the door, and they look just get out of here, Raven. Get the fuck out. They look just as haggard and rotten as Morgantha does, and they kind of peer into the room. She says, "Oh no, we insist. Please, we don't want to be terrible hosts."
What? So, can I have my cookies?
Will you share a glass with me, child? How is everybody else reacting?
In a panic. Cold sweat.
Pretty much one hand on my sword.
I can't drink this
Oh, but why not?
because I'm on a diet that consists of bugs, and more bugs.
How fortuitous! This is made of the finest insects that we have collected from around the old Bonegrinder.
Let's see if she's lying.
Yeah, insight checker.
8.
You can't detect any hint of dishonesty.
Well then, I'll drink it.
Can you make me a con save, please? Okay. You pass the save, but you taste it, and it is incredibly bitter. And being a bullywug, you're from a swamp environment, and you are very familiar with poisonous plants, and you recognize it immediately as pale tincture, which is a type of poison that is taken from roots and herbs.
Did you just? Oh,
Asuin?
Here, I got something for you. I just want to show you this.
You trying to?
I'm going to stab her.
Okay, so you try to stab her, right? But you see the woman. She reaches up and she grabs your pike, not by the pole, by the actual by the spearhead, right? And she grabs it. You see a trickle of blood running down her arm, and as it does, her visage begins to twist and change, as does the two of the women outside, and they become these monstrous hags. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Damn it, frog.
She tried to poison me.
Alrighty. So you guys roll initiative. Let's roll for my ladies. Okay. So Morgantha, pike still in hand, right? Looks at you. She's like, "You will regret this. You should have just ate the damn cookies." And and she raises her hand, and you can feel the hum of magic as she begins to assault you. Actually, where is it? Oh no. Okay. We're not gonna do any of those. Oh man, I really... Should I be a bastard, guys? Should I be a bastard? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Alright, she is going to use a ray of enfeeblement at Asuin. Alright, so 26, that is going to hit you. That is not formatted at all correctly. Way to go. Target. So Asuin, he is sick. Okay. Since it hit you, as long as you are affected by this spell, you can only do half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell is gone, as the magic seems to sap all the strength from your body. At the end of your turns, you can make a con save that is DC 15 and try to end the spell. Okay? So that's what Morgantha does. And as she sees you kind of hunch over and she begins to cackle madly. Kriv?
Alright, so from my position, the map, would I see Morgantha on the stairwell?
No. Right? Because the stairwell, it goes up into the wall to the next level, but you can see she's, you know from the position of the attack that she's like right on the other side of the wall next to you.
Alright, in that case, I will use an Eldritch Blast. Or probably not, but I was aiming at this one down here.
Alright. Your spell backfires, and there's a large explosion that knocks you back and causes you to fall. Roll a con save, please, as unfortunately you smack your head hard on the cement of the ground. Oh my god. Oh, you must have rolled the worst. Okay, that is a fail. You're... Oh, man. You're going to take 1 bludgeoning damage. 4 thunder damage from the spell's explosion. And you are knocked unconscious for 1 minute or until you receive damage from any source.
Okay.
That was gnarly. Alright. The next of the hags is going to move forward. She just kind of steps down here. And she casts Sleep. And a level 2, because why not? Before I make it roll, though, I'm going to do the smart thing. Okay. Submit. Alrighty. So 35. And it says how to distribute it. Lowest. So Asuin falls asleep. If. Come on now. And McPherson falls asleep. So now the new guy is standing here, and all 3 of them have just passed out. Just McPherson, you're sleeping. Unfortunately, you don't get an action.
Accepted.
All right, Rogar. This is not gonna end well.
No, it's not.
No. The hags are already a difficult encounter, but your guys' rolls, man, they're just wonderful, I tell you. All right. Okay. You miss your attack, and you begin to panic as everybody around you has left you to fend for yourselves. Self, singular. Your current turn will end, and you are going to have disadvantage through your next attack. Alright. The last of the hags is going to run forward. She looks around, and as she looks at you, Rogar. She kind of begins to lick her lips. So what do you say, dearie? How about if you accompany me? I shall allow you to live. She looks intently for your reply.
I will reply back with every profanity in Draconic I know.
Oh dear. That is no way to talk to a lady at all. And she claws at you. And looks like she's going to hit you. For 11 slashing. Oswin is asleep. Morgantha. Oh my god, you guys are going to get wrecked. Morgantha is going to use magic missiles and shoot them all at Oswin. So Oswin, take 9.
Oh, wait a minute.
Did you think she missed?
No, for a minute, I just, like, in my mind, it wasn't working. I'm like, she did damage to me. Now I'm going to wake up.
Well... Kriv is asleep. Next one... Oh my god, what did I do? What did I do? Next one, she is going to cast a Ray of Enfeeblement at Kriv. Oh, what? 6, 7, damn. A nat 1, but the number is still 13. Well, the attack goes wide and she somehow misses you. McPherson is still sleeping. Rogar, it's your turn again, man.
Alright, I realize I'm severely outnumbered, severely screwed. I'm going to stretch my arms out, one to the left, one to the right, swing straight down. One attack at Kriv, one attack at McPherson.
Okay. With advantage. Remember, they are incapacitated.
So it'd be normal because I have
Why do you have disadvantage? Oh, you did. Yeah, your fumble. So, 10 and then 20. So, McPherson... Yeah, McPherson's gonna take 8. But you wake up.
Well, that works for me. For now.
For now. However, up next is Ophalia. And she is going to look over at Kriv and slash down with her claws. If I could find the freaking button. Oh, she has advantage. Derp-de-derp. Oh, God, no, why?
Oh, no.
No!
Night night.
Alright, well, 27, yeah. Yep. On a good note, you're no longer sleeping. Now you're just unconscious.
Swear, getting that 20.
Alright. Nope. And Morgantha, she is again going to slash at... Well, she can't. The wall is separating you. Is it? Is she next to you? Can she see you? Kinda. And we'll say you'll have half cover. Half? No, we'll call it 3/4. So she's going to claw at you and miss. Kriv, death save.
No! I want to make a third character.
A third character in 5 sessions? Yeah. Is it been 5? Well, anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright. She is going to move forward and try to slash at Rogar. Miss. McPherson, what would you like to do?
Is there a window?
No, there are no windows on the base floor.
Is there a chandelier?
No, there is not. The only things in this... Well, there is a lot of junk in this room. There's the oven, the cart that it looks like Rogar is currently perched over. There's the cupboard with all the vials and shit in there. And then there's a chest and the barrel.
Wait, there's a chest in the barrel? Where's the barrel?
A chest and a barrel. The barrel is underneath. You see Kriv there? It's here. It's very cluttered. Apparently the old biddies are hoarders.
Is there enough... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Is there enough stuff in the middle of the room to hide behind? To, like, duck and cover?
Yeah, I mean, you could try to take cover behind something, but you couldn't hide because they can clearly see you.
Right. I just want to, like, cover and, like, shoot a hand crossbow at
Sure.
something.
Let's say you duck behind the cart there. Or whatever that is. I think it's a table.
It's a coffin.
It's your coffin.
Probably.
This is where we die, boys. Alright. Which one were you attacking? Probably that one right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one I can actually see.
Okay. Hit. For a whopping 5. You did it, boy. Rogar?
Oh, let's attack the one in the middle.
Okay. Another hit. And you see her kind of hiss. Ah, how dare you! Ophalia here is going to slash out with her... No. She's going to do none of those things. She reaches down and grabs Kriv and starts to try and pull Kriv towards her. And she begins to mutter, "Oh no, no. It will not do to have you die so easily." And you see her, it almost looks like she's trying to stabilize his wounds. Okay. She is unsuccessful. It seems that the wounds inflicted on Kriv are much too severe. Aswin? Morgantha, at this point, she oop. Well, yep, take 13.
Good night.
And then the three hags are looking over at McPherson. And as they look at you, you can see them taunting you, and they're laughing and gibbering to each other. They say, "Come now, lad. No reason to die on this hill. Come peacefully." Kriv, go ahead and make a death save. What?
What?
Well.
Yay.
Well, you were very close to death a moment ago. Now you're fine, for now. And you still get to take an action. What would you like to do?
Cure wounds on myself.
Ooh.
and then stand up, and that's it.
All right. That whopping 6 HP. Um, the hags did not like you seeming to recover at all. Not at all. And the three of them, you see them kind of like hold hands, and they kind of close their eyes and begin to chant in unison as they use their coven magic, and they. I'm really afraid. They cast Hold Person on you. If the spell will come up. Cast it level 2, yes sir. Alright, so Kriv, I need you to make a wisdom save. That is a fail. DC 15, I believe. Let me find it, so just make sure. DC 15. So you are paralyzed. Alright, McPherson. He's deep in contemplation.
I am deeply in thought.
So Kriv stands up. I want to paint you a picture, right? Kriv stands up, and the three of them just kind of point, and you see his body goes rigid as he's racked with spasms, and he falls to the ground paralyzed. Then they turn their attention back to you, and they say, come peacefully. You don't need to die today. None of you need to die. Surrender.
There's two things I can do. One of them will kill the party.
No.
Don't do that.
It's so tempting, though.
Accidentally close my page.
What are you gonna do, McPherson?
I will not kill the party
Oh, that's good.
because I am more interested in what they have to say anyway.
Okay, so you're gonna give in?
Yep.
Alrighty. So here's what's gonna happen. Okay? You guys are gonna go back to the title page. We are going to end here for the night. But after McPherson gives in, the hags collect the unconscious party members, the paralyzed Kriv, and McPherson walks of his own accord. They lead you to the top of the tower, right? And inside the tower, you see that there are two small human children. They are dirty, and they appear to be, quite hungry and emaciated. After the hags, throw you in the top of the tower, they lean in, they apply some sick-looking salve to Asuin and to Rogar, their wounds, and as sickly as it is and as foul and disgusting as it smells, it seems to help, as the two of them are no longer thrashing their sleep and are no longer in pain. Then they close the attic stairs behind you, and you can hear a lock being set into place. And McPherson, you're the only one conscious and or capable of speech right now. Is there anything that you would like to do before we wrap it up? Yes, that's what the little girls in the room sound like. They're crying. They're very upset.
Yes, they're very upset. I got girls. Wait, you said they were children. Is that what they are? Girls.
Two small. They're little girls. Yeah.
Okay. And we are in a room with them.
Yep. They've thrown you up here.
So we're all prisoners of war.
Yep. For some reason unknown, the hags have decided to keep you alive. And it doesn't look like you're the first person that's had to stay up here.
So there's two little kids over in that corner. I'm standing here with my top hat, and I got the other party members that are either
dead or paralyzed.
Dead or dying.
Well, no,
but
they're stable.
They'll recover. They'll recover eventually, I'm assuming.
All right.
I'm just going to wait here and plan my next move.
All right, then I think that's what's best, right? So that is where we are going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, check out the schedule under the stream. And come back tomorrow morning. We'll be playing the Princesses of the Apocalypse at noon. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, and see you later.